Two dudes in a cage. We are back with another fighter spotlight. Today we have Tony Shurts with us. Tony has been fighting since 2012. He has over 30 amateur fights, mixed martial arts, kickboxing, Muay Thai. Man, he is making his pro debut October 1st. We are excited to have you. Welcome, Tony. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, we're excited to have you. Man, why don't you start by just telling us a little bit about yourself?
I am 29 years old. I turned 30 this year. I was born in Las Vegas, but I was raised in Helena, Montana for most of my life. Started training at 17 with Johnny Aho out of Team Proving Grounds in Helena, Montana. But other than that, just, same old life as everyone else, trying to make my way, working, trying to make this pro career, hopefully make it big somewhere sometime, see where it goes.
Nice. I like that, man. I like that you say you're just a regular guy, just like everybody else, trying to make your way in the world, man. That's awesome, how did you get into fighting?
I was about 16, 17. I had my brother-in-law in Helena, Montana was always like, you want to go to training? You want to go train with me? I always told him no. And then one day I went and I never left. After that, it was like game over for me. It was training, and then fighting, training. Traveled all over Montana to fight. There's times where I had to take like 4 days to travel all the way across Montana for fights.
Wow.
But yeah.
So since you didn't have like a background, prior to coming into fighting, what's your favorite? Do you like stand up or ground?
I used to be just a stand-up guy. I used to just like to stand up, but being with this team and the way they've developed me and transitioned me into my jits and winning all my jits tournaments, I like them both. Wherever the fight goes is where I like to take it. Usually I don't have like a whole game plan, because usually game plans don't work all the time, especially when someone, like if you hit someone and they come in and double leg you and then there goes your stand up, so I just try to take it where it goes.
It's a good thing to have.
I like that. That definitely makes sense. You
can tell a lot of fighters, if they get taken down, they're like, oh no, what do I do?
Yeah.
And you start thinking more, you start losing more energy, and your gas tank gets lower.
Yeah,
Yes,
super quick. Yeah.
So what's your favorite like submission or your favorite strike?
So funny thing is me and one of our teammates, Henry, one of our favorite moves is a like jumping triangle. So like someone goes in for like a single leg, and you just jump up and throw the triangle. We both do it in our jits tournament. Our last time we had a jits tournament, we both almost got disqualified for it because you're not supposed to be doing jumping moves. But I think that recently has been my most favorite move, and I try it a lot on people when we're doing stand up to ground. When they put me on the wall, I'll try to throw it on them. My favorite strike, I'd say my favorite kick would be I call it the Sugar Strong kick because that's how I know it as. But it's the I forget, like
the question mark kick.
Yeah, the question mark kick. There you go. That's my favorite kick.
All right.
Yeah.
It is a good kick.
In Taekwondo, we call that fake front round. I think you fake the front kick and switch to a round or something.
Yeah. That kick wins championships. I mean, Luke Rockhold used it against Weidman.
Well, a lot of people are incorporating it into their game lately. So
yeah. It causes people to drop their hands, and then it's easier to go down than up. So drop their hands down.
The front kick is such a part of the game today, and I think that's why people are doing it, because people are front kicking so much and then they fake the high kick.
Always,
and that's why it's so successful.
Yep.
Because the huge part of the front kick. It's like the front kick is like the jab.
Yeah, because they think you're gonna front kick and then you go to throw it and you just whap.
Yeah, and they commit to it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's a good strike. I like that.
So, do you have any vices like junk food? What's your favorite like sweet or junk food that you have to incorporate your meal plan around?
So, especially when fights coming up, I usually don't eat a lot of junk food at all. But usually when like, no fights around, I like strawberry lemonade, man.
Strawberry lemonade.
Strawberry lemonade.
That's not that bad.
Like, I'll go to Wendy's at lunch, or I'll go to Chick-fil-A at lunch, and that'll be like the only thing I'll grab. It's just a strawberry lemonade. Why? Because it's refreshing and it tastes good,
And the most blue collar answer. I love it.
Right. It is. That's funny. Yeah. So, I mean, you mentioned your lunch break. Wait, let's talk about what you do for work.
So as of right now, I am a federal fire mitigator, which means I go on people's land that have forest and I maintain it to where it's harder for fires to get into the trees and stuff like that. And then I'm also going to be starting up my own landscaping business with my brother-in-law.
Nice.
And then now I have, pro fighting as pretty much a third job, which I'm hoping take that to skyrocket,
Absolutely. Yeah. Your plate is definitely full right now. Yeah, I think everyone's definitely behind you and wants to see you make it to the top with your professional career, man. So I think you got a lot of people behind you, and I think you definitely have a great opportunity to make the most of it, for sure.
I think a lot of people that want to get into it don't realize, they watch Bellator, UFC, where 90% of those fighters are just fighters. What do you think is just becoming a pro, fighting for 10 years, juggling full-time jobs as well as training for fighting? What would your advice be for someone that wants to get into fighting?
If you get into fighting, especially if you have a full-time job like I do, it's hard because I can't dedicate 100% of my time to the gym, which I wish I could. Like sometimes I have to miss fighter trainings and I feel bad. I don't like it. It sucks. But if you want to get into fighting, you have to have your whole heart into it, man. Like your heart and soul, because there's blood, sweat, and tears that get poured into that gym, and that's how you create champions. Being there every day for your teammates and your teammates being there for you is one of the main priorities, because if you're not there for them, they don't want to be there for you. If you don't have someone to help you, then you know what I mean? How are you going to help someone else? But dedication, if you're young, I'd start out young. That's the best way to do it. Start out young when you don't really have a lot of responsibility. You don't have to have a job quite yet. You don't have to pay your rent. Get in real young and start young, and then continue, because you will grow, and then you won't have to worry about like sponsorships when you're older like I am. You don't have to, do all this other crazy stuff and try to juggle your work and your training and then all the other things. But I think starting out young is probably the best advice I can give somebody,
Yeah, and the availability for that these days is jiu-jitsu gyms and training gyms are popping up everywhere. Back when we were younger, when we were children coming up, it was just taekwondo and karate. We didn't have that. So the youth today, you have all the tools you need. They're there, and if you want it, you just gotta go out and get it, basically.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
Mixed martial arts has grown a lot since I was younger.
Yeah.
There's only like a couple good gyms in Montana. Otherwise, back when I first started, there wasn't really much.
Right. There was probably one gym.
Yeah. There's been one gym in my hometown for the longest time. So, and then the other gym that came in were just like a jiu-jitsu gym. You know what I mean? And it's hard to find a gym that has everything, the balance. The wrestling, the striking, boxing, Muay Thai, conditioning, and the people to do it, because you can go into a good gym and there's just gonna be guys that don't help you. They'll just beat you up the whole time, and they'll just beat you down and not lift you up.
Right. You're
I've
never
been,
gonna learn that way.
yeah, and I've been to a couple gyms where it's like that, and nowadays I'm like, yeah, I'll come get some rounds in, but like I ain't going in there for you guys to just hate on me and then try to like, murder me. I'm in there to try to get some rounds and learn something. But there's a lot of gyms that are like that. Like when I was in Montana, there's Joe Diesel Riggs gym.
Joe
And
Riggs.
yeah, and some people have some bad things to say about it. Some people have some good things to say about it. I didn't go in there, but it just is. It is what it is. You have to go into the gym. You have to find the gym that fits you. And that's what Says MMA did for me. I fit in. Like everyone treats everyone with respect, loyalty. We're out there working, helping each other. It's just a good time.
Yeah, we vibe. Yeah, we butt heads every once in a while with people, but for the most part, our team gets along and we click and we laugh and we have fun and we work hard. And I think that's what makes it work. That's why we're starting to excel. That's why some of our guys are doing good for sure. So that makes sense. Yeah. Find the team that works for you, man. There's everybody has a way that works for them, and my way just might not be your way.
Yeah.
I think, I never pro fought, but I think finding a gym where they're not focused on one person, because sometimes you go into a gym and they have that one guy, like Conor McGregor's gym, for example. Yeah, they had Gunnar Nelson and Artem, but Conor was their main focus. And then you have like ATT and Winklejohn, where they have Jones, Holm, Nunez. They have many people, and I feel like a good gym is a gym that focuses on all fighters' potentials, not one fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. I've seen that where the golden boy gets all the attention. Sure, I could go into that even more, but this is about Tony. So, Tony, you're making your professional debut October 1st against Gonzalez. What are your thoughts on that, man? What are your thoughts on him? What are your thoughts on the pro debut October 1st? What's going down?
I'm excited for it because not only is it my pro debut October 1st, but it's my birthday. I turned 30. I have a whole bunch of fight fam and close friends coming up from Montana to come celebrate, watch. What I think about the guy, he's in trouble. He's in big trouble. As far as my wrestling and jiu-jitsu goes, I've seen it skyrocket since I've been at Says MMA. My stand-up has always been good and it's been there, but he tries to grapple up on me. He tries to touch me. He's in trouble. He's in big trouble.
Nice. I love it. I can't.
Sorry. With like nerves, do you get nervous like leading up to the fight, or when you're in the back warming up, hitting pads? Do you get nervous? And if so, how do you deal with those pre-fight nerves?
See, back in my amateur days, I used to get really, really nervous, and I didn't really know how to control it. And I used to like puke before my fights, and then like in my fights, I forget to breathe, so I'd puke in between rounds. But since I've been being one with my body, my body is my temple type stuff. I just relax, breathe. It's another fight. You know what I mean? It's the same thing that's going to happen every time. You're going to go in there, you're going to fight, you're going to win, or you're going to lose. I just, keep calm, try to, nerves always come, but I just keep calm and listen to my music and just walk around, stay loose, hit mitts, just hang out.
So I'm glad you brought up music. What is your intro song? Like, what do you walk out to get you pumped?
I usually switch it every fight. I switch up the songs. My last one was Gremlin by Kodak Black. I've also used Hell and Back I don't know if you guys heard that song, but that's one of my favorite songs to use because it just speaks to a fighter. Talking about coming from hell and back, because you're in training, that's hell, and now you're back because you're fighting. But I usually listen to rap. I usually use rap as my go-to songs, just because it has like a lot of hate and a lot of anger and a lot of I'm gonna hurt somebody.
Get you fired up.
Yeah, get you fired up. Getting ready to go to war. You want to hurt somebody.
I think that's one of the mistakes I made in my last fight is that I was super calm, and even my walkout song was a Christian song that was nice and relaxing, where I should have had something that fired my ass up.
Yep.
So,
And Knuck if you buck.
What'd you say?
Knuck if you buck.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
there you go. See, there you go. That's a good one
yeah,
too.
right. Yeah, something that just gets you going. Yeah, for sure.
Early
So,
2000s had a lot of those.
yeah, right. There's a lot of good songs.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. So, man, you've had a lot of fights. If you could fight anyone in the world for your dream fight, who would it be?
My dream fight. If I ever made it to the UFC, I don't know. If I
Doesn't even have to be in your same weight class.
I'd fight Jones.
John Jones. Yes. I like
Just to
it.
say I got punched in the face by him.
Hey, right?
Well,
Yeah.
Donald Cerrone, that's my
There
dude
you
right
go.
there. I like that.
Yeah.
Man.
Uriah Faber.
You can say you threw
Uriah
down
Faber.
with them. Like, that's
I also, one of my dreams back in the day was to go to Uriah Faber's gym and train with him at Alpha Male. What is that, California?
Yeah. So it's no longer Team Alpha Male. It's now Team Alpha MMA. They have gone woke because Corey McKenna is on the team now. They have women training at Team Alpha Male now. It's Team Alpha MMA.
Okay.
They had Alexa Grasso is their brief, or not Alexa Grasso. They had a female, and she was like supposed to be top 15, and then she met a wrestler and just got demolished. I think she fought Grasso. Cynthia Cavillo.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know
she was at Team Alpha MMA when she first started in the UFC.
That's cool. I didn't know that. And then I heard Uriah Faber, he's not even a black belt. That's crazy. He's been doing jujitsu for like ever. And how is he not even a black belt? I think there's some politics going on there,
Probably.
is why he wasn't given it. But I just thought that was interesting. Like, he's definitely black belt level.
Dude, he used to be a beast. Went back in his prime.
There was an interview with a fighter who said MMA jiu-jitsu is different to like obviously no gi and gi are different.
Yeah, of course.
But the belt system is more designed for gi. And so when they focus on no gi or MMA, they don't actually belt up.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're
So that
absolutely
could
correct.
be the situation.
You have to train in the gi consistently to get promoted.
Yep.
Because that's just how it works. No gi training, mixed martial arts training does not count towards BJJ training and your belt. That's how a true BJJ school should work. You shouldn't get promoted based on your mixed martial arts. Like if you sub someone in an MMA fight, you shouldn't get promoted for that.
Like Woodley against Darren Till. He got the anaconda choke, and then Dean Thomas gave him his black belt after it.
Yeah, so when that happens, they've already anticipated. They already had the belt with them. You know? They didn't just all out of a sudden say like, oh, he submitted him, I'm gonna give him his black belt.
Oh yeah.
They already probably pre-planned on giving him his black belt after the fight anyway.
See, and I think that's what happened in my last jits tournament, because I was a white belt in my last jits tournament. I was talking to one of my teammates. I was like, man, I think they should promote me soon, because like I'm gonna get called a sandbag.
Right, because you mopped the floor.
Because I was mopping all white belts, and then my buddy's like, "Oh no, they'll give it to you when you're ready." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm just playing." You know, and what happened was that next Monday,
Got your blue
boom,
belt.
I got my blue belt.
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
but
that's sweet. I'm like, I'm happy. Now I ain't gonna turn up no more white belts. Now I might get told up in the blue belt division.
I mean,
you know?
I think that's how it works, though. You know, you have to be able to prove yourself in battle, per se.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to bet that after this Naga tournament, you know, the people that do exceptionally well and win medals and win all those things are likely to get promoted.
Right.
You know,
Because like Coach says, he says, come to the jiu-jitsu class and go out and test your skills in these tournaments.
right.
You know what I mean? Because that's how he also knows that you're learning. Because if you're out there beating random people all the time, like I did, I was just beating every white belt I ran across. When you're beating every white belt you run across, they look at that and they're like, holy shit.
Okay.
Maybe he's learning something, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe we should upgrade him and see where he goes from there. Now that I'm a blue belt, I haven't been in a jits tournament yet, and Naga's coming up now. So that's gonna be my first blue belt tournament, and it's gonna be pretty exciting and intense.
Yeah. Naga is it's usually a tougher tournament. So yeah, it should be good. I'm excited for it though.
So with tougher tournaments, you know, you get some of those guys that, like, grab the bell or try to manipulate positioning by using, you know, unorthodox moves. What are your thoughts for like cheaters? Like, do you consider someone that uses performance enhancing drugs or like grabbing the cage, grabbing the inside of the glove?
You know, I think people that do that, like grab the cage, grab the inside of your glove, are scared. They're scared because they don't want you to slam them. They don't want that hand to get loose, because if they know you slam them, it's gonna hurt. They're gonna be on top. Also, they don't know if that hand gets loose, they're catching an elbow, they're catching a hand, or you know, they're catching a submission. You know, they're scared, and that's what I don't get it, because I've seen it with one of my old amateur teammates. He picked this dude up and he blatantly grabbed the whole cage, and when his whole body was extended out, you know, and they didn't dock him. They didn't dock him a point or nothing, you know, and which I think, you know, if you blatantly have all fingers in the cage,
Yeah.
that should be a point.
Whole hand
You know
grab.
what I mean? I get it. Like if you're like this, trying to swipe and you grab it, I get it.
It happens, you know.
Like
right.
it
You
happens.
do it, you know,
It happens.
especially you, and then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
then like same thing with the toes. They don't want your toes in the fence. But I just think they're scared. That's it. You know what I mean? Because I've been slammed. I've been picked up next to the cage, and like you see my hands hit the cage, but they stay flat. You know, and I get slammed. Boom. But I just think people that get picked up don't want to get slammed, so they get scared.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, you know.
Yeah.
In all life, people who step outside of the rules and who are willing to bend them a little bit, it's because they're afraid, you know. They're afraid to be shown for what they really are,
Yep.
that they don't have the skills that they claim to be.
They
you
don't want
know?
that outcome.
Yeah,
Yep.
and they know that this guy's probably going to kick my ass, so they have to do whatever they can.
Mhm.
Good way to look at it.
Yeah, I like
People
that.
that say it's a street fight, I'm going to use everything.
I like that for sure. So, man, you used to train with Sean O'Malley, man, before he was in the UFC, before he got famous, man. He's a superstar now. What was he always a star? You know, was he always kind of like? Did he have that aura about him that you just kind of knew that this guy was going to be somebody?
You know, I did have the privilege to work with him during his amateur career. Yes. Yeah, he was always a star. Always a star. His stand-up was always phenomenal. The only thing we tried to work on was his ground. My coach always told him, he's like, you're going to make it to the UFC. You're going to be a star. You know what I mean? And they still keep in contact a little bit, because we follow him, obviously. We watch all of his fights.
Right.
And
Right.
so, I don't know if you guys ever watched his interview of how he got his Sugar Sean name, but my coach always told him he's just so sweet to watch. So that's how he got his name, Sugar Sean. And so, yeah, dude, he's, there's been people that have called him out in the amateurs, like, you ain't fast. I'll knock you out. we're like, all right, cool. Set up the fight. We set up the fight. Sean goes in there and pieces him up in 1 round. It's like, dude, no one really touched him. No one ever could really touch him. No one still can really touch him. Excited for this Peter Yan fight, though.
Bro.
This Peter Yan fight, I think, is going to be
next level.
The next level, and it's going to test him. And I think it's going to be really, really good for him to see where he actually stands. You know what I mean?
It's a true
test.
Yeah.
That last
It's
fight,
interesting because Peter is, he's built as a boxer, but he's got really good wrestling.
Yep.
So it's like, which Peter's is it gonna be boxing Peter, who's gonna get pieced up, or is it gonna be wrestling Peter, and it's really gonna test OMalley and still get pieced up?
I think he's gonna come out with that wrestling.
He's gonna wrestle
because Sean's long.
If he's smart, he'll wrestle him.
Yeah, Sean's almost 6 foot. Okay, and he's fighting
Really tall for that division.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. He's 6 foot at 135.
Yeah.
You know, so like Peter Yan is what, 5'8"?
I don't know.
I think he's 5'6".
Yeah, see, he's so like
short.
So like Sean's got that reach on him. So Peter Yan's gonna have to get in and take him down unless he catches him. You know what I mean? That happens. Catch him with a nice right hand. But I think the way it's gonna go is Sean's gonna hit him, stay on the outside. Peter Yan's gonna try to take him down, and then see where it goes from there. Because no one's really took Sean down and kept him there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think OMalley's ground game is underrated because it hasn't actually been tested or seen.
Right. Yep. I believe that too.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, if OMalley wins, well, now he's screwed because everyone above Yan are wrestlers. And it's like, well, we don't know what OMalley's wrestling is like because we've never seen it. So you can't count him out until you count him in.
Yep. Don't underestimate him.
Yeah.
You know you're gonna get subs.
Right. Yeah.
I also think Snoop Dogg really helped raise his star.
Oh,
the Contender Series.
Dude, yeah. No, that was sick. Yeah. And then Sean's actually got a lot of things going on in promotions for like, weed
outside of fighting. He's really, and that's why I kind of been talking to you about some of those things. Try to market myself, this marketability, and his online, I don't know what to call it, but his online social media presence.
Yeah.
Just all these things that he's done for himself.
He's made it big. I watched a lot of his podcasts. He has 3 different podcasts he does. He does his own. He does him and his coach Tim Welch, and then he does the Bro Malley show with his brother. And they all talk about different stuff. But I usually follow him and everything that's going on and people hating on him. And it's funny because the way he markets himself, he don't care. He does what he wants because haters are going to hate and his lovers are going to love him. No matter what, he's making money off of all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
whether you're hating or
that's what he says. And a lot of he's like, go ahead and hate, make another comment. Why don't you? Because you're paying me, you're giving me money. You know what I mean?
He's also in the same category as like Patty Pimblett. It's like they make so much money that they're fighting because they love it, not because they have to.
Yeah.
And I think what he did is just he came up from scratch. Like Patty was already up there. He's just now getting in the US, but like OMalley, worked to get where he was.
Yeah.
And he's got his Twitch, his podcast. Brilliant mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know, for real. His marketing business is fucking outstanding.
Right.
Because he also
he's his own manager too.
Yeah.
He has Dr. Dabbers.
Mm-hmm.
He has he gets special ones made for him.
Dr. Dabbers.
And
doesn't know what that is, bro.
And he gives them away. He gives away a lot of free glass.
Hell yeah.
And stuff. That's on cool. His Instagram. So I have him on Instagram. And they're like, put in to win this free OMalley Dr. Dabber limited time only. You know what I mean? And then they'll come out with a new Dr. Dabber and then they'll put OMalley on it. And then he'll start promoting it, Dr. Dabber 2.0, OMalley limited time OMalley summer
Damn,
edition.
that's crazy.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy. Yeah.
And then you have he has his own weed line in California, Sugar Show OG.
Stop.
Dude, for real.
I didn't know that.
He's and then he has his own merch. He creates his own merch, which I think one of his shirts was $200 a shirt. One of his jerseys, you know. And I'm just like, guy's making it,
Right.
killing, bro.
Yeah.
And he's having fun doing it
I'm trying to be
Because-
like that.
because he the
Damn.
Paul brothers, he's friends with them. You know, Steve will do it. He's friends with him. He's the one that created the Happy Dads,
Dude,
the
hey,
Happy Dad beer. He's sponsored by
Crazy.
Happy Dad beer now. You know, he's doing great, bro. He's doing a lot of
holy
great things.
shit.
Like I follow him, I watch him on like
He
He-
snapped, bro.
yeah, he
snapped.
literally snapped when he moved to Arizona from Hell.
Yeah.
So
He teamed up with that dude, that online dude from Arizona. That was epic, too. He's another big on, and now they're making videos together.
Yeah.
too.
And he's a big gamer.
yeah.
He's
Go
a
ahead.
huge gamer.
So with like OMalley, he's got that brilliant fight IQ. He's got the brilliant business mindset. What are your thoughts of like CTE and the risk of brain damage and fighting?
You know, that's a scary thing because I was just talking to one of our teammates, Devon, about it because right before his last fight, sometime before that, he took a switch kick to the head and had a major concussion and had to miss training. And I've also seen videos where a boxer will get hit in the back of the head in the fight. 3 days later, he's dead.
Yeah.
It's a scary situation. The fight game's not for the faint of heart. It's scary because at any given moment, something wrong can happen. At any given moment, doesn't matter if you throw it, if they throw it. You know,
Life-changing injuries.
life-changing injuries can happen at any time. You can pick someone up as high and dump them sideways, dump them on their head, boom, you snap their
Yeah.
spine, break their neck, they're done. You know what I mean? But I don't know,
It's a
man.
huge risk.
Yeah,
it
it's-
is. Not you when you say that. Yeah, it really is.
It's a big risk, you know, and
And I made it all dark. My bad.
No, whatever.
yeah,
But it's real. But at the end of the day, that's why it's so exciting, man. You know,
Yeah.
you can smoke all the weed you want, but getting in that motherfucking cage, bro, there's no feeling like it, man. It's
yeah.
it's amazing, you know.
It's crazy to be the center of attention on a stage that stands higher than everybody.
2,000 people are in there looking at you.
Yep.
You know, even if you are losing the fight, you know, whatever. And the feeling you get when everyone from the gym is fucking screaming when they call your name, and I was like, man, wow.
Makes you feel like a superstar.
I did not expect that. You know, I was like figuring a couple of people be like, yeah, you know, but I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. It's a nice feeling, man. It really is.
Yeah.
I know, moral victories don't mean anything, but even if you lose in the cage, you still win because you're doing something that 99% of people, they could talk about it, but they'll never get in their underwear and stare a grown man in their face.
Right. That's right.
Yep.
We are the 1%ers.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, you gotta love fighting though, because sometimes it gets hard. You know, it gets hard going and training every day and getting beat up, and you're all bruised up, and your muscles are sore, and you're like, I don't want to go today. But you know, if you don't go, coach is gonna yell at you, and you know you're gonna miss something, and etc.
But you also gotta have that mindset that if you don't go to the gym today, your opponent's going, so now he's a day better than you.
Right.
Yeah.
You kind of constantly have to, even if you're not in a fight camp, you can always be like, well, Johnny in Iowa is going to the gym today. If I have to fight him, he's a day ahead of me. And so I feel like you just got to push through it. And with that, and the love of fighting, Jake Paul, good or bad?
Yeah.
Segways.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Jake Paul just backed out of a fight. I mean, I don't think he should be a boxer. I don't think him or his brother should be boxing. But what am I to say? You know what I mean? I don't judge no one. You know, if they're making money, they're making it big just by talking shit on YouTube, having a couple boxing fights, boxing one of the most famous boxers in the world, #1 boxer in the world, and making multi-million dollars off it. Kudos, bud. Good on you, my guy. You know
I would
what mean?
definitely do it.
Yeah, that's what I was like. When you ask who would you fight, it's like, now you talking about for money or just for fun? Because if you're talking about for money, I'll fight someone at my size. So you know,
Now you're thinking.
so like I'd fight Dillashaw or Faber. You know, shoot, I'd let OMalley beat my ass for a couple mil.
Right.
You know.
Do you think Jake Paul can actually fight though? I mean, have you seen some videos of him training?
I've seen training videos. I've seen his boxing fights. Logan, I think, is better than Jake. I think Jake just is the more of the big mouth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He likes to talk and run his mouth. But I mean, like I said, I don't think they should be fighters. They should stay with YouTube. But
Right.
it is what it is.
Jake has that natural power, but Logan, like when you watch Logan's footage, he's more technical, where Jake's still looping, but he just has that power.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that assessment for sure.
yeah, I also think if he's going to be serious about boxing, he needs to do smokers and not fight, retired MMA or boxers. He's gonna be like Tommy Fury. Because if you think about it, like Canelo, Floyd, who is their 5th, 6th fight? Some dude that they got off the street that he fought 4 times that night. So if he wants to do it, he's got to do it right. And I think he'll get more respect by doing that instead of making $1 million fights every 6 months.
Kind of jump to the top
Yeah.
automatically. Yeah. Like did you watch Contender Series?
Yeah.
With Bo Nickel?
Bo Nickel, yeah.
He was like, slow your roll, buddy. He just needs to slow his roll a little bit,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's a good it's a good point. Like, and if he would have done it the correct way and built himself up right, people would respect him more for it. Yep. And instead, he thinks he's a superstar and automatically gets to be at the top, and he's the main event in the pay-per-view with 2 fights.
I think Dana White, he's learned his lesson because he had Brock Lesnar come in 1-0, champion. Then you have Mickey Gall and CM Punk coming at 1-0, 0-0, and they do well against younger fighters, but you give them those veterans not so much. So I think with Bo Nickel, he's like, you're good, you have pedigree, but you need experience.
He's more experienced, straight up.
And at least Bo Nickel is like, I get it.
Right.
I'm gonna do it,
Yeah. Could. Yeah. I think Bo Nickel knows he's gonna.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't have wrestling too. He's a decent striker.
Yeah. Is it that ATT?
Right.
So with that, like Bo Nickel, kind of just getting thrown in, getting the Contender Series fights. What are your end goals as being a fighter? UFC champion, Bellator, PFL, $1 million winner.
See, I just, with life, I just like to take life roll with the punches, man. See where life takes me. I would, yes, the end goal would be like to be in the UFC and make a lot of money and just fight and not have to work another job. But at the same time, like we talked about injuries, anything can happen at any given moment. You know what I mean? Like I can go into training on Monday, accidentally break my foot. Boom, I'm out of my pro fight. I'm out of fighting for months. You know what I mean? So then I'd have to bounce back from that. Or like if I get in a fight and I get really hurt, it could be career ending. So I just like to roll with the punches. Whatever comes my way, I'm gonna take it. We'll take it and run with it as far as I can.
Yeah.
Another question, speaking of that, like getting injured and stuff, fighter pay. Jake Paul is like, oh, raise the fighter pay, and Dana White came out, I believe, yesterday and goes, while I'm here, fighter pay staying what it's at. Like, what do you think of that? Eat what you kill is what he said.
Right. I mean, there's also a lot of politics that are behind that, because like I watched Dana White come out and say we pay them this, but we also pay for like these medical things. He's like, we've found life-threatening things in fighters before their fight and got it fixed before they fought, so nothing bad happened. You know, he's like, and people don't see that. Like, we pay for the CT scans for their head, you know, their surgeries or whatever happens. He says that he pays for them, and you know, and that's a thing that a lot of people have to realize, because a lot of these promotions, especially as an amateur, you go break your hand, you're paying for a good portion of that out of your pocket. You know what I mean? You get an eye poke, anything happens in there to you, you're paying for a good portion of it. So with a promotion that will pay for the injuries, or if you need a CT scan for your brain because you think something's going wrong, or you know,
which are thousands of dollars.
Yes, which is hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then you know, like MRIs or CAT scans or X-rays. You know, when a promotion wants to pay for that, I think people should realize how big of a thing that is, because for us fighters, we need that, because a lot of us, like me right now, starting out as a pro, don't have all that money to put towards an MRI or a CAT scan. You know what I mean? So like. Dana White, I think, is doing what he needs to do. You know, like he says, eat what you kill. You know, and
yeah.
I don't think a lot of people realize either is if you know, they're starting contracts like 10 and 10. If you lose, you get 10, you win, you get 20.
And I think that's a lot of money.
Exactly. I know, you know, maybe you come out with $8,000 after paying, you know, gym fees and everything. But if you think about it, if you fight 3-4 times a year and you make, you know, 10 to 20,000, you're making 14. If you lose all 4 fights, you're making $14,000 less than the average American in a year. So based on 53,000 or whatever of the average income, you're getting paid about the same.
For sure.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I think I gotta go. I think I gotta hop off.
No, we're so close. A couple more minutes. All right.
I got a couple more minutes.
Okay. We'll try to finish it up quick. So man, bare knuckle fighting, it's really popular. There's a lot of money in it. It seems like it's always in the news. People that used to do MMA are going to bare knuckle. People that are from bare knuckle are going to MMA, vice versa. What do you think about bare knuckle? Would you ever do it?
I actually have a couple people in Montana that have their hands dipped into bare knuckle right now, and they've been trying to get me on a bare knuckle card. And I almost did the one in Great Falls, Montana in September, but talking to the coaches, they said that's not a good business plan. I looked and I was like, why? You know, it's like I can walk up to this dude, hit him one time, I'm gonna knock him out because I knew who it was. And they're like, but what if you break your hand?
Yeah.
Then you're out of your pro career for 6 to 12 months. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But it's a grind. It's a blood.
Is that why
grinding sport?
Is that why there's so much money in it, you think?
Yeah, exactly. Because like, I had a couple friends who were suspended for like 6 months because they all broke their hand in the bare knuckle fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just a meat grinder. So what it is.
Yeah, and you see dudes hold up their hands afterwards, and they're just all red and swollen. And it's like it's like something they show off after bare knuckle fights. I've seen multiple people do it for some reason. Like, look at my hands, they're all messed up. I'm like, dude, and I can't, you know, my right hand, dude. If I punch something, oh man, my right hand would swell up. It's already swell, you know. So I don't even know if I could. So that makes it, you hurt your hands.
Yeah, that's
I
why
think a lot too is, you know, like look at Floyd Mayweather. He said after every fight he breaks his hands because his bones are so brittle. So you get these older fighters who've been, you know, 4 ounces of padding is not that much.
No.
And so the damage that they've had in their, you know, careers, and now they're taking it without any padding.
Yeah.
It's dicey.
Yeah. Break your hands very easily. One punch can shatter your whole hand.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, you gotta be tough to do that for sure.
So usually we ask these questions, earlier, but I'll ask it now. What's your favorite color and what's your favorite movie?
Favorite color is purple. The reason my favorite color is purple is when I was younger, I always liked to drink Crown Royal, and I like it's royalty. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
purple royalty. So I like that. Man, I'm a movie lover, bro. Like
Yeah.
my dad, before my pops passed away, he used to watch old war movies, new war movies. Dude, I don't even know what my favorite movie would be. Let's see. My favorite old movie would be Top Gun. We'll go with that. Comedy. Why him?
Oh, that's a good one. James Franco. And,
Yeah. That thing that has me cracked up all the time. But I've seen a lot of movies, man. Like all the Transformers, all the like Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
all them kind of movies. Like I just like movies. You know what I mean? Especially go on a date with the girl.
Hell
You
yeah.
know, movies
Nothing
are
wrong with
nice,
that.
bro. Movies are nice, especially here because in Montana it's different. Here, the movie theaters, you get served alcohol, and you got a lounge seat. Okay, your seats lounge all the way back.
Yeah.
Montana, they still got the old ass
Old
movie
school
theaters.
shit.
Yeah, you're sitting in a chair like this.
I like the new movie theaters.
Dude, they're nice.
They do be fire though.
They're nice.
Yeah. For sure.
sit in your grandma's recliner.
Yeah,
Right. Oh,
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
yeah. Heck yeah. All right. So I guess we're getting close to wrapping up. So do you have any sponsors that you want to thank?
Yes. Dave's Exteriors from Montana. He's been there since day one.
Dave. Thank you,
literally
Dave.
been there since day one.
I've heard the name Dave a lot of times.
Yeah, because he talks to our coaches all the time. Love that man. Herbs and Tonics. David Harper lives here in Springs. Check him out. He makes his own spices for food. Go check him out. Herbs and Tonics.
Nice.
Pretty sure it's Werewolf Products. He makes homemade jewelry. I can't find him right now. Right here. Yeah, Werewolf Products. Werewolf Products. His name is Michael Brazilian. They make their own jewelry.
Nice.
Not sure where he lives, but yeah, shout out Michael Brazil, Werewolf Products too. I also like to give a shout out to Says MMA, my team, for always showing love and respect.
Yeah.
We're going places. Let's get it.
All right, man. You have met Tony Shurts. You got to know him before his professional debut, October 1st. You better come out and watch him kick some ass. Tony, is there anything you would like to end with?
No, just hope to see everyone there October 1st. Let's have a good night of fights and let's kill it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here with two dudes in a cage, man. We love doing the fighter spotlights. They're our most watched videos. People love seeing them and getting to know the fighters more. I think it's a great thing. We hope to have everybody from our gym on here eventually. Once they get to that certain level. We really appreciate you taking time out of your day to come and do this.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me, man.
Yeah, thanks for taking time. And I won't be there in Colorado Springs, but I'll definitely support you guys. And Charles sends me the links and stuff, so I watch the fights.
Oh yeah, appreciate that.
Awesome. Two dudes in a cage, fighter spotlight, Tony Shurts.